AITA for asking my husband to cancel our anniversary trip to Everest after learning how tough it really is. My husband and I recently got married, and he truly is one of the kindest, most thoughtful people I know. He loves surprising me with small gifts, thoughtful gestures, and spontaneous plans. One of the biggest things we bond over is our love for travel. The only difference is our travel styles. He enjoys culture, art, shopping, architecture, and relaxing on beaches. I love all those things too, but I also enjoy hiking. I am not a professional hiker by any means, but I try to take 1 or 2 hiking trips every year to places like Colorado or Montana. Since my husband usually handles most of our regular expenses, I have been paying for most of our recent trips. But for our delayed honeymoon and our upcoming anniversary, he insisted on planning and paying for both. One day, he shared a link in our group chat about a guided trek to Everest Base Camp. I thought he was joking or just being spontaneous. So I casually said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." I honestly did not think he was serious. For context, the longest hike he has ever done is about 4 or 5 miles, nowhere near high altitude. He is fit, but he mostly does gym workouts, not long distance or endurance training. A few weeks later, he told me he had already booked the trip and paid an $800 deposit per person. I was shocked at how expensive it was, so I started researching. That is when social media started flooding me with Everest videos, and let's just say they were not reassuring. Even though we are not climbing to the summit, I saw how harsh the conditions can be just to reach base camp: freezing weather, rough terrain, altitude sickness, and stories about travelers getting stranded. It scared me, especially knowing how my husband dislikes being cold, hates camping, and cannot function properly without good food or a morning snack. The Everest Base Camp trek takes around 8 to 9 days, at very high altitudes, with minimal comfort, things like cold food, limited showers, and unpredictable weather. It just does not sound like something he would enjoy, and honestly, it worries me. When I shared my concerns, I showed him some of the videos I found about people struggling or having bad experiences on the trek. But he took it personally. He said I was insulting his effort, his fitness, and his planning skills. He told me he wanted to surprise me with something meaningful because my parents used to work in the Himalayas when I was little, and he thought this would be a special way to honor that memory. I completely understand his intentions, they were pure and loving. But the reality is that this specific hike is extremely demanding. I just do not think it fits his comfort level or our current situation. I am worried it will turn from a romantic anniversary trip into a stressful and miserable experience for both of us. Now he feels hurt and disappointed that I asked to cancel it after he already paid the $1,600 deposit. But I truly believe it is better to lose some money than to risk our health and happiness on a trip that might go very wrong. So, am I wrong for asking my husband to cancel our anniversary trip to Everest after realizing what it actually involves? AITA?